You won't believe how Lego really started. It wasn't plastic, it wasn't colorful bricks, and it definitely wasn't anything close to the empire we know today. It began with a poor carpenter named Ole Kirk Christensen in a tiny Danish village called Billund during the darkest years of the Great Depression. After losing his wife and watching his construction business collapse, Ole was left with 4 sons to feed and no money coming in. But instead of giving up, he looked at the leftover wood in his workshop and made a decision that would unknowingly shape the world of play. He started making toys. Simple toys. A wooden duck on wheels, a miniature car, a yo-yo. Nothing revolutionary, yet. But there was something different about Ole's work. Every toy he made was crafted with such care, such obsession with quality, that he created a motto that his entire company would live by. Only the best is good enough. That phrase wasn't just a slogan, it was a survival strategy. Each toy had to be perfect, because any mistake could mean the difference between feeding his kids or not. He named his company Lego, a combination of the Danish words leg godt, which means play well. Ironically, he didn't realize until years later that in Latin, Lego also means I put together. It was as if fate had written the future in advance, but at that time, the company was still just one man and some wooden toys. The plastic revolution was still years away, yet every great story has a turning point, and Ole's was coming. A fire burned down his workshop not once but twice. Most would have quit, but Ole rebuilt each time. He kept making toys. His son Godfred started helping him, learning the values of hard work and perfectionism. They were unknown, poor, struggling, but they were building something far more important than money. They were building a legacy. By the late 1940s, Ole and his son Gottfred stumbled upon a new material that would change everything: plastic. At the time, plastic was considered cheap and unreliable. Why would anyone want to replace solid wooden toys with flimsy plastic? But Ole had vision. He believed in innovation, and more importantly, he believed in possibilities. In 1949, they released their first plastic bricks, called automatic binding bricks. They were simple, small, and honestly, they didn't work that well. They barely stuck together, and most kids didn't see the appeal. But Gottfried wasn't satisfied. He kept refining the concept, asking himself a crucial question. What if a toy could unlock a child's creativity, not just entertain them? Then, in 1958, the modern Lego brick was born, with its revolutionary interlocking tube system that allowed for unlimited combinations. That year, Ole passed away, but not before witnessing the foundation of a dream. Gottfried took over, determined to turn Lego into more than a toy. He wanted it to become a system, a language of play. But even as Lego grew in popularity across Denmark and eventually Europe, skeptics still doubted it. Would kids really stick with blocks over action figures? Was there even a market outside of Northern Europe? But Gottfried pushed forward. He introduced the idea of the Lego system of play, a universal design where every brick from every set could connect. A child could combine a spaceship with a castle or a police station with a pirate ship. It didn't matter. There were no rules, only imagination. Sales began to grow, slowly, then faster. By the late 1960s, Lego was in nearly every European country and just starting to break into America. But it wasn't smooth sailing. Shipping costs, poor instructions, cultural differences, it nearly collapsed in translation. So how did Lego survive? And how did it go from almost unknown in the US to becoming one of the most iconic brands on the planet? That turning point would come in the unlikeliest way, and in the next part you'll find out how Star Wars, bankruptcy, and video games changed Lego forever. In the late 1990s, Lego had become a global giant. Their sets were in millions of homes. Their theme parks were attracting families around the world, and kids everywhere knew that satisfying click of bricks snapping together. But here's the twist. Despite all that success, Lego was quietly falling apart. Sales were dropping. Kids were turning to video games, digital toys, and screens. Lego sets had become overcomplicated, too expensive, and harder to build. The company began chasing trends: action figures, clothing lines, even launching its own media studios. But it wasn't working. By 2003, Lego was nearly bankrupt. The same company that once defined childhood play was on the verge of collapse. So what saved them? Ironically, the answer came from what many considered a risk: a licensing deal with Star Wars. It began in 1999, and for the first time, Lego was allowed to bring outside stories into its universe. Lightsabers, stormtroopers, Darth Vader, built out of Lego bricks. It was an instant hit. Suddenly, a new generation of fans wasn't just playing with Lego, they were reliving epic stories through it. That deal changed everything. More franchises followed: Harry Potter, Batman, Indiana Jones, and many more. Lego wasn't just a toy anymore, it was a storytelling platform. Then came the video games. When Lego Star Wars, the video game, launched in 2005, it exploded in popularity. It was fun, simple, and true to the Lego spirit. Break things, rebuild them, and laugh. It reached kids who had never even touched a real Lego brick, but it brought them in. And then came the ultimate moment, the Lego Movie in 2014, a film that had no right to succeed, yet somehow it did. It was smart, emotional, nostalgic, and packed with pop culture. And suddenly, Lego became cool again. Not just for kids, for everyone. Today, Lego is more than just a box of bricks. It's education, engineering, entertainment, art, and even therapy. People use Lego to teach STEM. Architects use it to model ideas. Some even use it to relax their minds. So how did a poor carpenter from Denmark, making wooden ducks in a small village, build a company that survived fire, bankruptcy, digital revolution, and captured the imagination of the world? Maybe because Lego never stopped believing in one simple idea: play has no limits.